Okay, again, I'm gonna be serious. I'm not gonna do some DEA character or anything like that. I just wanted to say, first of all, I want to reemphasize that it's great that we started fighting now to keep Kratom legal. It's gonna give us a good head start. But again, gear up because the real fight will start on September 30th. We're not going to beat this before the 30th of September. And the DEA and Big Pharma is relying on us to stop at that point. This is where I'm going to piss a lot of people off because I am for Kratom's legalization, but I think, number one, it should be for 21 and above. I think pretty much so a person is an adult till they're 21 and above. I don't think they should be able to be drafted, married, or anything until they're 21 or above, or buy Kratom or alcohol. I used to think they should be able to buy alcohol at 18 because you could get drafted and all that before you were 21. If you're old enough to get drafted, you're old enough to drink. Now I think should be 21 to actually drink. And if it was practical, I would say you become an adult at 25, but that probably is not practical. But really, that's when you have a better chance of people possibly drinking more responsibly at that point. Anyway, Kratom should be labeled as very potentially addictive because I believe it is. I know it's helped a lot of people, and I didn't realize how many people it's helped until this whole issue has come up. But just the same, I do think it is a potentially dangerous drug like any other drug if misused. Not nearly as dangerous as alcohol, of course, which is, of course, going to remain legal. And I don't think the DEA will ever go after alcohol. So, in fact, it's been tried before, and it just can't be done. But a lot of people argue that Kratom is good because it's natural. Well, people, can, extract morphine right there in their homes out of seeds. So that's natural. But yet, morphine is highly addictive, highly dangerous. But people do it though. Which, by the way, that kills people. And people are probably going to start resorting to that if Kratom becomes illegal, which it will kill you because you don't know how much potency is on each seed, which I'm not going to mention the kind of seed it is, or even close to how you do that. But the thing is, though, morphine is natural, and so is codeine. And then you take those natural ingredients, you make them stronger with oxycodone or hydrocodone, but they still originally came out of a plant, which is natural. And even this acetaminophen, which is poison, was originally came from something natural, and then man altered. But unless you're actually one of these people that are chewing on the leaves of a kratom tree, like they do in Thailand, it's not natural as soon as you grind it. If you grind it to powder, it's definitely not natural. If you make a tea out of it, an extract, then it's even less natural. If you change it chemically by adding either vinegar or, oh my gosh, what's the other one? Or lemon juice into there, citric acid, then you're changing the chemistry of it, and you created it to a certain degree chemically. You've changed it. So the term nature, a lot of people sit there and say, "Well, this is healthy because it's natural." Well, poison ivy is natural, and actually, alcohol was originally natural before we started using yeast to accelerate the process of the fermentation process. But originally, fruit just, fermented, went bad, and then boom, you had alcohol. It's probably how alcohol was discovered. Somebody came along, chewed on some, bad fruit, said, hey, wound up getting drunk. Don't get me wrong, I don't think alcohol should be illegal, although I sure as hell won't drink, and I will take Kratom. Although I won't take Kratom every day. As a matter of fact, I might have Kratom once a month, maybe. Once every 2 months. And on September 30th, probably not at all, seeing as it's probably going to be illegal. But I won't drink alcohol because that to me is a far more dangerous drug. And according to a reliable source, American Horror Story, also the pain pills are more addictive than heroin, according to American Horror Story. That's not really. I don't. That they did say that, but I don't know if that's true or not because again, that's not a reliable source. Obviously, a fictional TV show. But people do believe everything they hear on TV, so I thought I'd throw that out there. But Kratom is probably less addictive than prescription painkillers. However, it is, they say 7-OHM, which I'm not even going to try to say what it stands for, is more potent than morphine, which means it's probably more addictive than morphine. So, yeah, it's natural, but there's dangers with it. Again, I think it should be legal, but it's not just because I like to use Kratom, which sometimes I do, but it's also about our freedoms. Every time the government tells us what we can and can't ingest, it cuts our freedom a little bit. That's one thing that cuts our freedom. The lack of discussion of it. There should be debate. It should run through. I think it should run through the three branches of government. I think it should be a democratic process where there's some voting involved. Because I've always been scared of a police state, and the police making our laws is something that scares me. So that's another reason that I believe that this ban is wrong. And criminalizing any drug is criminal. I would not want to fight this nearly as hard if Kratom was made to be illegal but not criminalized. But Kratom should not be criminalized. Cocaine should not be criminalized. Heroin should not be criminalized. None of it should be criminalized. It's not a criminal act. It's a symptom of a disease, and many people would even argue that it is a disease. Addiction, although I believe it's a symptom, but it sure as hell isn't something that you should be in jail for. It's like locking somebody up for having cancer or having nausea because they have cancer, which would be a symptom of cancer, or pain because they have cancer. You have pain because you have cancer, you're getting locked up. You're addicted because you have ADD, so you should be locked up. Also should be bear in mind when heroin finally did become illegal, the people that were so addicted were housewives, middle class, and they were basically victims to pharmaceutical companies and stuff. That's how they were seen. Now, if you're on heroin, you're a junkie and you're a loser because it's a lot of times more associated with the poor and the minorities in this country. So, which is the other thing about illegal drugs is, of course, they're bigoted. That's just shown by mandatory minimums where crack has stronger penalties than cocaine. The war on drugs is a war on race. It really is. So that's another aspect. Even though plenty of whites also do these drugs, it's blacks that are winding up in jails and other minorities. So these are all arguments against, not making Kratom outlawed. So, but again, let me be on record. Kratom does have its issues just like any other drug. But then again, so do peanuts. Kids have peanut allergies and die of them all the time. Anyways, thank you and have a great night.